It began with a remark she dismissed as harmless teasing, or at least, that's how she tried to play it off. A tight circle of friends, along with their partners, had gathered for a relaxed evening of drinks and chatter. The kind of casual get-together where laughter gets too loud and people say things they probably shouldn't. There were 8 of us, 4 couples, spread across the backyard of our friend Nathan's place, lounging near the glow of a crackling fire pit. Mia and I had been together just over 2 years. She had a natural allure, a magnetic charm that pulled attention wherever she went. That night was no exception. We shared a bottle of bold red wine, the kind that slowly erodes your filters. As conversations meandered, they veered, as they often do during tipsy nights, toward old relationships and long-buried confessions. Then it happened, quick and unexpected, like a spark igniting dry brush. With a mischievous twinkle in her eye, Mia raised her glass and declared, loud enough for everyone to catch it, "Some men just don't know how to keep a woman happy." A ripple of awkward laughter swept through the group, but I caught the glint in her eye and the way her smirk locked onto me. Someone, half joking, nudged her with a question. "Talking about Lucas?" She shrugged like it meant nothing, letting out a laugh that felt more like a blade than a joke. Let's just say, some things are better left unsaid. The mood around me shifted instantly. I felt like the air had thickened. My muscles clenched, as if I'd turned to stone. Laughter from the others slowed to a trickle. A few glanced away. Others cringed, clearly uncomfortable. But Mia soaked in the moment like it was her spotlight, feeding off the attention, oblivious to the sting she'd just delivered. And it was me who paid the price for her performance. I kept quiet, managing a tight-lipped smile, nodding as if unaffected. Then I got up to grab another drink I didn't even want. Beneath the surface, fury simmered. It smoldered silently in my chest for the rest of the night. By the next morning, she acted as though nothing had happened. She greeted me with a gentle kiss on the cheek, whipped up a tower of waffles, and curled up beside me on the couch. Soft, affectionate, and cheerful, as if she hadn't just shredded my pride in front of our closest friends. I played along, but something inside me had changed. It wasn't just the comment. It was the pleasure she took in making it, the way she flaunted it like a dagger. From that moment, I began to watch, not just her, but everything. I became more reserved, pulled back emotionally, but careful not to let her notice. I sharpened my appearance, doubled down at the gym, threw myself into my work, and reached out to friends I'd lost touch with while we'd been together. And I studied her more closely. Not just how she behaved with me, but how she moved through the world. Her charm, her flirtation, her constant need for control, the subtle put-downs she disguised as jokes, they were everywhere, woven into every interaction. And then I noticed something else. One name kept reappearing in her texts. Julian. A coworker, supposedly. Late-night messages. That sly grin she gave her phone. The way she tilted the screen away when I passed by. Doubt took root. So, I began digging, carefully. A few screenshots here, a cloud backup there. And then I found it. Photos of her in his car, wearing a coat I'd never seen. A video message she'd made for him. Intimate in a way that left no ambiguity. This wasn't just some emotional indiscretion. This was full-blown, calculated betrayal. I didn't confront her. Not immediately. Instead, I waited. One of our friends, Sophie, was hosting a lavish birthday dinner at a swanky downtown restaurant. Everyone was dressing to impress. Naturally, Mia was invited, and so was Julian. She had made sure of it. I pulled Sophie aside beforehand and pitched an idea, a fun slideshow for the celebration. Just a sweet little surprise for the group. I sent her the file the night before, asking if she could play it after the main course. She laughed, totally on board, and said she'd handle it. When the time came, the lights dimmed and the projector flickered on. The presentation started off warm and nostalgic, photos of Sophie as a kid, old group snapshots, a goofy video of me dancing badly at a barbecue. The room was filled with smiles and laughter. Even Mia leaned over and kissed me on the cheek. Then, everything shifted. The next slide showed a screenshot of Mia's messages to Julian, explicit, undeniable. Lines like, "I need you again." "He has no idea." Gasps echoed across the room. Faces froze. Forks halted mid-bite. Then came the video, her voice unmistakable, saying his name with a tone no friend would use. Mia's expression cracked instantly. Panic spread across her face like wildfire. "Turn it off," she shrieked, leaping from her seat. No one moved. Sophie rose from her chair, eyes locked onto Mia. "Is this for real?" she asked, voice calm but sharp. I stood up, meeting everyone's gaze. My voice steady. "She thought it was funny to humiliate me in front of all of you. I thought it was only fair to respond with the truth." Mia broke down, tears streaking her face, crying that I was being cruel. But no one rushed to her defense. Her excuses fell flat in the silence. Then she ran, makeup ruined, pride in tatters. That night, I slept peacefully for the first time in months. Over the next few weeks, friends reached out. Their messages all echoed the same thought. "How did you put up with her for that long?" I asked myself the same question. But I didn't just move on. I rebuilt. I created a life without her chaos, one where I didn't measure my value by someone else's ego or games. Because the real issue, the one she mocked, was never the truth. What terrified her was that I would one day stop tolerating the manipulation and let reality do the talking. And when that day finally arrived, I didn't just walk away. I made sure the truth echoed.